Maybe you're not tired. Maybe your soul is just tired of you living out a version of your life that doesn't belong to you. A version that you were never meant to get comfortable living, but just to pass by and learn things as you go. And truth be told, you're not lazy. You're just unaligned. And once you fix your direction, the momentum will come with that. But first things first, I want you to understand that this form of alignment isn't even necessarily about physical or external balance. It's about being in harmony with your true self, values, and purpose. And when you're out of alignment, it can drain your energy, take away from your purpose, and make you feel burnt out because the lifestyle that you're living isn't necessarily on track for what you're destined to be. So one of the first things that can really help you gain this sense of realignment is understanding what direction you're supposed to go in. And I feel like you do this best by just understanding who you are. What is it that you want to be remembered as? If you had to pick something to do for the rest of your life and not receive any money for, and still be happy to go out and do the best work possible, what would those things be? It's a representation of who you are and what you're destined to become. For example, in my case, growing up, I've always liked, being a representation for how men, and not even just men, but a genuine, morally bound person should act. I like being the person that people can go to when they needed somebody to talk to or when they needed an open ear. I like being that reliable source based on my past experiences and do my best to help those in need whenever I can. So it's little things like that that can help guide and lean you more towards your purpose. And I feel like something that so many people overlook is the fact that there's a difference between fatigue and misalignment. Fatigue is physical. When you get up and you go work out and you do too many sets, your body is going to feel physically tired. But this form of misalignment is more emotional and spiritual. And truthfully, it's not solved by rest alone. When you feel misaligned, this is the time where you have to get yourself grounded. This is the time where you have to take a step back because there's no amount of sleep that can fix this. And I'm sure a lot of y'all watching this video can agree, but I don't know if you've ever been in a position where your life has been going good. You may be in the field that you may be in, you may be blessed, maybe making a good amount of money, but something still felt off. Something still felt like it was draining you. And at some point, we all came to the realization that this wasn't a physical thing. We were mentally drained. We were misaligned, not necessarily doing the things that are actually going to nurture us and make our soul feel complete. There's a clear difference between living and surviving. And I feel like this is essential to understand, especially on this lifelong journey that we're all on, just knowing what it is that you want specifically out of your life. But this feeling of exhaustion that you may be feeling right now is nothing more than a spiritual or emotional thing. It's not physical. You have to get back in touch with who you truly are. You got to figure out your true purpose and what it is that you want to do with yourself. But a few signs of being unaligned is, one, you always feel drained. You feel disconnected, unmotivated. You lack energy. You lack ambition to go out and do the things that you know that you should be doing. Because we know that the opportunities are out there. It's just a matter of you taking initiative to get those things done. And it's very hard when you're unaligned to think in a logical state to put yourself in a position to go do those things. Just like anything else, there's a point where you get to the end of the tunnel and there's nothing else that you can have in this world. And you have to turn around and look deep within yourself to figure out ways that you can make yourself grounded and content with the life that you're living. It's not about cars, it's not about money, it's really not about wealth or any of those type of things. It's about you on the inside. It's about the way that you perceive the world around you and the things that you hold in your mind is valuable. But when your actions, your goals, and your values are not aligned, it creates internal problems. That's why it's very important to live according to your purpose. This is the only thing that's going to bring you that form of energy and vitality. Knowing that you're doing the things that are ultimately going to make you happy in the long run. Because we all know that when you're aligned, energy flows effortlessly. You don't have to do too much to get the results that you want. Because not only are you there physically, you're there mentally. And all of that is just translating into the work that you're putting out, making it seem as easy as possible. And in reality, it is. It should be an effortless feeling. You shouldn't have to wake up drained or forcing yourself to do the things, just to get by. Because if so, then something is off there. When you're misaligned, you have to force things. When you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing and you're just getting by, that's an unnatural feeling. It should always feel natural. And if it doesn't, then that's just something that you have to do. Go back and reassess certain decisions that you're making so that you can change whatever it is that you need to change so you can get that more natural feeling. Being clear on who you are. being clear on the purpose that you want to serve for this world. Because so many people, whether you believe it or not, are just coasting through life, not necessarily living out their true purpose or destiny, but just getting by. They may have a high paying job, but it doesn't necessarily align with their spirit and who they are destined to be. So, that form of true happiness and peace that they're seeking, they may not ever find until they sacrifice what they need to sacrifice so that they can allow God to bless them what it is that they're supposed to be blessed with, the lifestyle that they're supposed to be living. My life got a lot easier when I just stopped doing the things that I wanted to do all the time. When I stopped thinking about me and I put a little bit of trust, not even a little bit, but when I put my trust in God and I asked Him to open whatever door that He was willing to open for me. Whatever it is that was aligned with where I was supposed to be, I needed Him to do that work because I did not have all the answers. I was going to continue living life feeling like I was kind of lost and feeling like I didn't really serve a purpose. And somebody like you who's probably in this current state right now, you have to do the same thing. You have to understand that there is something out there for you that will make your soul feel complete and make you feel like okay with the lifestyle that you're living. And you do not have to force anything. You do not have to continue to get by and live a life that is not meant for you to live. And a lot of people don't realize the impact that this form of misalignment has on your mental health. This puts you in a position to be depressed. This puts you in a position to live a life of regrets, not knowing what direction to turn in. And it can eventually escalate and lead to other things. This is why so many people you see these days do drugs or they drink because they don't feel like they serve a valuable purpose in the world. Not everybody is okay with going to work a 9 to 5. Some people actually feel like, they're destined for more. And there is nothing wrong with that. So if you're that somebody and you can just never, feel complete with what you have and you just want to grow and you just want to continue to expand, then you have to put yourself in a position to take the steps in order to make that happen for you. Whether you have to go through some hardships or not, that's just a sacrifice that you have to make in order to see that door open in your life. And this form of realignment is not easy. It is going to take some time. But when you're doing things that are aligned with your purpose, you shouldn't care how long it takes, whether it takes 1 year or 10 years. The fact that you're doing something that is a representation of what you want to be remembered as is enough for you to be patient, for you to allow God to do what He's going to do. Don't put a time frame on things that are actually meant to be in your life. Really just trust the process and understand that whenever the time is right, things will play out exactly how they're supposed to play out, because I know that I'm supposed to be in this current position right now, and that's why I'm here. Do not second guess it. When you go through something or you want to try, doing something that you've always wanted to do your entire life and you don't get the results that you may felt like you deserve to get right away, do not let that be something that discourages you or stops you from continuously pursuing what it is that you're pursuing. Use that as motivation and really keep going. But right now isn't the time to quit. Right now isn't the time to stop and give up on yourself. It's really just time for you to fix your alignment and start doing the things that you're actually destined to be doing in your life. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.